welcome into Track 'em Tigers. I'm Jay Coulter with the coach, Ron Nelson. Coach, just seems like Georgia week comes faster and faster every year.
It's unbelievable. It just seems like college football got started, and now we're in Amen's corner.
Yeah.
And so we got the home stretch.
Man, I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year. I mean, you get Georgia, you got Thanksgiving, and you got the Iron Bowl, like you like to say, Coach. I used to call it Amen Corner. We're at Amen Corner.
We dead in it.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at it. Saturday, 3:30 on CBS. Georgia, 3-point favorite. 76% of all the betting money is going with Georgia giving the points. So Georgia's Georgia's pretty popular out in Vegas.
Well, we'll talk about Georgia later, but they're probably playing the best ball that they've played all year long.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just going to be one of them situations where it's going to be one like I heard today. It's going to be like one of the old SEC games of old. It ain't going to be like Alabama LSU last week. If it is, we don't have a chance.
No.
But it's a good rivalry and one that I know that Auburn's looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't think there's, and we'll dig deeper into this, but I don't think there's any doubt. It's probably the two best defenses in the SEC playing Saturday.
Right now they are, and there's no doubt. Now, it's going to be one of them situations where that Auburn is going to have to really, really play their best they can. I fought against Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. That even though we didn't score a lot of points, I thought the offense really, really took a step. Mm-hmm. We opened up and throwing some passes over the middle, some short passes. I mean, that ball game, yes, they had a chance to win at the end because we let them hang around. But theoretically, we should have won the game by 21 points.
Yeah.
But, when you got stats where you've got 507 and they have 238, you should be winning more than 6 points. But when you miss 3 field goals, you fumble the ball inside the 10-yard line a couple of times, that's what happens. But we're going to have to get all that corrected. And in order to beat a Georgia team, and we'll talk about this later, we are going to have to win the special team game. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to. And I didn't think we won that against Ole Miss. We started off kind of slow in the special teams in the early part of the season. Then we got really, really good. We took a step back against Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. And, their only touchdown the first half was set up by a long punt return. And you're not going to beat Georgia like that.
Yeah. Overreaction by the Auburn fan base a little bit about the offense, you think, coming off that performance? I know there's a lot of frustration because of that. But, you look at the numbers, like you said. Should have won it by much more. But at the end of the day, I think the offense is getting better.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's to the point where when you get on social media and read some of this stuff, you get to wondering, have these people ever played football before? And because they're never happy with anything. And I thought Bo played his best ball game. Mm-hmm. I thought DJ Williams came out and played good. We got the ball to Anthony Schwartz's hands. We got it to Seth Williams. So we had ultimately, I think, 8 or 9 receivers that touched the football. I thought the offensive line did a better job. Defensively, we played lights out. That quarterback from Ole Miss, the Plumlee kid, if he can get a little bit better touch on his passes, he's going to be something to reckon with before he graduates at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. He's a special player, and I'm glad to see Auburn, contain him as well as they could. And but overall, great win. And for all you people that's complaining about a 6-point win, so be it.
Yeah. Saying never apologize for a win, right?
No, and never, And people, got onto our fan section, our student section for leaving.
Yeah, talk. Thoughts on that?
Saturday night, it's late, it's cold.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And how much of that's coming off of going down to Baton Rouge and losing to, without question, in my opinion, the best team in the country? Could have won that football game. It had to be a letdown.
Yeah, well, it was an emotional letdown, and that's what I want to. I think our players, even though the score didn't indicate it, a win's a win, but we did what we had to do to win the ball game. That was a trap game. Mm-hmm. Because when you come off an emotional game that basically took you out of a conference, a chance to win a conference, and to lose like we lost against LSU, it was just one of those situations where it was really a gut check, and I thought our senior leadership led us through, and the coaching staff, and so I mean, hey, we 7-2. Let's line up and let's see where the chips fall.
Yeah, you've said all year. I mean, obviously Auburn's got one of the tougher schedules in the country, no doubt. Oregon, LSU, Florida, Auburn, Georgia. Alabama, Georgia, no doubt about that. But you've said all year that you like the way the bye week set up. So we're coming off a bye week now. Georgia, lay down game.
Well, they had the Missouri game, which wasn't much of a contest
Right.
because the Bryant kid didn't play for Missouri,
Right.
and they don't have another quarterback.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to tell. Yes, Georgia played good defense, but they really didn't play against anybody.
Yeah.
And Missouri is one of those teams when Kelly Bryant plays, they're pretty good, but when he don't play, they're not very good.
Yeah. So you got Georgia, you got Samford, you got Alabama. Off week. You're Gus Malzahn. What did you hope to accomplish in the off week besides obviously resting your
Well,
guys?
get your bodies healthy, but not only physically but mentally, and it gave them time to get away from some football this past weekend. And I think they practiced Thursday and game Friday, Saturday. They came back Sunday, and from all reports that I've read, that they had a really good practice Sunday, and carrying on, and then I'm sure they'll have a good week this week, even though. I promise you, if they practiced outside that Tuesday weather, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
and
no.
that was brutal.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm sure they went inside that day, but it gives you a chance to really look at your tendencies, look at some matchups. I really hope that we can. At times, we ran our offense and we didn't substitute a lot, and we need to do that more often. Because Kirby Smart, I promise you, if we send one person on, he's going to hold, and then he's going to send 5 to 6 on, just to get us out of sync. So the more we can keep our players on the field and not use multiple packages, the better off we're going to be. Now, sometimes, dictating the situation, you're going to have to substitute and get the right people on the field. But I hope that we can get into a rhythm where we don't have to do that as much, and I think that will really help us.
Yeah, you've coached in rivalry games. This Georgia game is big. There are a lot of Georgia players on this team. Oldest rivalry in the South. Georgia's had their way with Auburn, 7 of the last 10. What's different in a rivalry week when you're getting ready? You're coming off a bye week and you're going into a rivalry week. What does that look like getting the team ready? How do you keep them from peaking too early? How do you manage that week?
Well, I mean, really on the bye week, you're not really worrying about Georgia. You're worrying about yourself. You're worrying about the time. I read an article where they was key for Bo and the receivers to keep their timing down. So you really worry about that. And then you probably started working on the game plan. You probably put in probably half to 3/4 of it in probably last Thursday. And then you come back and you pick up strong Sunday with the whole complementary of the whole game plan. And yeah, I like it. I like the fact that we had the bye week and with a chance to just reset, because now these last 3 ball games, especially 2 of them, we're gonna have to play the best we possibly can to have a chance.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the off-field chatter. We're in November, so it's that time of year. You're watching Track 'em Tigers.
Razor XP has earned its place as the world's best-selling performance side-by-side. Now, the off-road's most successful Predator looks even hungrier. For 2019, Razor XPs are cut more aggressively. The chiseled muscular style, premium digital instruments, and wicked LED accents all hint at the heart of the animal within. Choose a Ride Command edition with off-road worthy touchscreen that puts total control at your fingertips. Or grab a Dynamics edition and discover the terrain-dominating power of smart suspension. Extreme performance has never looked so good. Build your XP at PolarisRazor.com.
And welcome back in. Coach, before we go any further, I want to thank Jason Dyer and the crew over at Extreme Power Sports. This is their second year sponsoring us. We couldn't do this without them. Just good folks. you're in the market for an ATV, any kind of outdoor vehicle, go by and see our friends at Extreme Power Sports.
I know Jason would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to having him on the show.
One of your former players.
Oh yes, Jason was a good one. I promise you. Jason was the type of young man where you knew he was going to be successful. Whatever avenue he took, he was going to be successful, and thankfully, he has been.
Yeah, good fella. Go see Jason and the team over there. All right, so like I was saying before the break, it's November. The firings have started. Willie Taggart down at FSU, now Chad Morris at Arkansas. I know the second, you probably thought the same thing, the second it came across the ticker that Chad Morris was gone, the Gus Malzahn talk would start. You're Gus Malzahn. Obviously, Arkansas has interest. If you're Gus Malzahn, do you entertain it?
Well, right now, if I know Coach Malzahn like I think I know him, he is totally focused on these last 3 ball games and seeing, because he owes it to these players. And you just need to play the games and see how they unfold. You read a lot of chatter. I'm to the point where half the fan base is split and they want him gone. Other half, want him gone. Personally, I think he's done a heck of a job. And
I agree
this
100%.
year, and I think for us, sometimes you think change is always better, but it's not. I mean,
Look at Tennessee.
You lose this recruiting season, and then who are you going to get to come in?
Yeah.
And
who's out there that would?
Yeah. So I think Gus is happy at Auburn. I think he wants to stay at Auburn, but if things don't go good, I really can't blame him.
I mean, realistically, you're going to rebuild your offensive line and your defensive line next year. You've got a horrible road schedule. I mean, next year it's going to be a challenge.
Well, it is, but look at the Arkansas challenge.
Yeah. How do you win in the SEC if you?
I mean,
how do you win in the SEC West at Arkansas?
Listen
That's the
to
point.
Gus 2 years ago, and he says, "I want to stay at Auburn because I feel like I got a better chance to win championships at Auburn," and he does.
Yeah.
And so I just wish everybody just kind of calm down. Let's play Georgia and let's just see. We might not win the football game, and moral victories don't mean a whole lot. But if the kids are out there giving us all, and we hadn't lost the locker room, and these kids are playing hard, we have got a nucleus of a good team. And let's just, our schedule, we said it before, if we could have played Vanderbilt and Florida, we're sitting here 8-1, and we're talking about the playoff talk.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah.
And that's just the way the schedule works. Next year, Alabama's going to have to play Georgia instead of South Carolina, so that's going to be different.
What will be interesting to me to see, and it's something we won't ever see completely, is should Auburn lose Saturday, and should they lose convincing Saturday, will the powers that be at Auburn exert influence on Gus to pursue that job? Because obviously if he pursues that job, that gets them out of a huge buyout. In fact, Gus would owe them money, or Arkansas would owe them money. That's what will be interesting to watch. I'm with you. I don't know who else you get out there. I think he's done a tremendous job this year. Sure, I wish things had gone a little different in Baton Rouge and Gainesville, but how can you fault the guy? I don't think it was play calling. It was execution. He's got a young quarterback, and he's got an offensive line that is not performed like they should. I guess you can't blame him for the quarterback. He's a freshman. The offensive line, I guess you could put that blame on him, but, it is what it is.
Well, people, I'm just telling you, in the SEC, Alabama's going through this stretch, rightfully so, and they deserve it. And but I told some of my closest friends, it's going to come a point in time in the SEC, if you can go 10-2, you're going to have a great season. And you say, what are you talking about? Look, Georgia and Florida are rising. They're going to be good. Tennessee, I told you, Jeremy Pruitt's going to get that. He's going to turn this around.
Won 4 of their last 5.
And if he'd won his first 2 ball games, which you say what if?
Yeah.
He could have finished with a 9-3 a year.
Yeah.
If he wins his last 2 ball games. Alabama, LSU to the point right now they feel like they're the ones on top. Texas A&M didn't pay all this money to Jimbo Fisher for nothing, and then you got Auburn. So you're going to take your lumps against these type of teams, and it's just a matter of fact that the days of running the table is going to be over.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be hard to do. If you do, you're going to have an exceptionally football team. So, but I mean, let's get back, Georgia. Quit talking about all this.
Yeah,
this stuff,
let's talk about it.
Like I said, I just believe in Gus and what he's doing, and I've liked the fight and these players all season long, and I'm not going to give up on them.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, so let's turn to Georgia. Georgia returns to the spot where all their dreams crashed 2 years ago, or at least we thought so. They came and got us 2 weeks later, but Auburn, they come back to a place where Auburn beat them 40-17, and in a game that has a similar feel to this year's game. I mean, Georgia again, they're now in the top 4 in the playoff right now. They're playing for a lot, and the funny thing about this, and what I love about it as an Auburn fan, our Alabama friends out there, they need us to win Saturday, which just
It might be the
makes,
first that they pull really, really hard
right.
for us.
And I think it's going to be hard.
And, well, we got to take the same blueprint we took 2 years ago. We stopped the run. And if you got to stop the run against Georgia, I read an article where Georgia is running the ball more in the SEC than anybody except for Kentucky. And the only reason they're behind Kentucky is Kentucky lost their quarterback, and they won't exclusively just run Wildcat stuff. So, I mean, to stop Georgia, you have got to stop the run. You've got to then put pressure on Fromm where he's not comfortable. If he can sit in the pocket and have time, he can pick you apart. I think he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC that can do that, and more like an approach style offense. The Tuas and the Burrow are running off tempo and RPOs and that kind of stuff. I really think that we got to make Jake uncomfortable, and we made him very uncomfortable 2 years ago. And then they got the rematch in the SEC championship game, and I'll be honest with you, after playing Georgia and then after playing Alabama, we were so physically beat up.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that we was going to be able to compete.
Yep.
And you say, well, Georgia had to do the same thing. It's a little bit different playing Georgia Tech than it is Alabama. And so we had the 2 tough weeks, and Carry On was beat up, the defensive line was beat up, and it's just one of those situations.
There's no gas in the tank.
None. And I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons that the Auburn people wanted the Georgia game moved from November to October to where be a point where if you had to play them again in the SEC championship game, it wouldn't be in such a close proximity.
Yeah.
Now, SEC didn't do us no favor of putting LSU in their slot.
Right.
So now we got to play LSU and Alabama back to back.
Right. And you bring a good point. Amen Corner changes next year. Georgia moved. This is the last November Georgia game for the foreseeable future. Go back to October, and like you said, yeah, boy, LSU for Georgia. Thanks.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right about that. Good thing, though, you got LSU at home, though.
Yeah, right.
And when you got to go Alabama on the road, so you ain't going to have 2 tough road games back to back.
Yeah.
And in a row. So, but Georgia, I know it's about time for a break, but we'll talk about their defense when we come back.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to dig a little bit deeper on the offensive side and the defensive side. You're watching Track-'em Tigers.
She's ready. Extreme Power Sports' very own Polaris RZR Skylifter XP1000, Trinity Exhaust, Power Commander, 6-inch portals, RZR 3 to 5-inch lift, MSA 20-inch wheels wrapped with 35-inch BKTs, deluxe audio roof, LED light bar, Mud Park ready. We are ready to finance you on this Skylifter right now. Come check out all our off-road machines today at Extreme Power Sports.
And welcome back into Track-'em Tigers. Coach, let's talk a little bit. Last year, DeAndre Swift just torched Auburn. 27-10 win up in Athens. This year he's close to 1,000 yards, but he's not gotten the attention that he's gotten in years past, but he's still there.
Yeah, see, I still consider him one of the top 5 backs in the SEC, and he's going to make a heck of a pro player. Not only does he run for power, but he's got speed and quickness. The dangerous thing about him is his pass catching ability out of the backfield. It's going to be it's going to be a big challenge for our linebackers. Now, defensive front's they're going to have to handle the inside, but as far as Swift with Georgia likes to run the old sweep play that a lot of people still don't run. Line up in the eye and toss sweep and let Swift go. We're going to have to really tackle well against him in space. But our linebackers going to have to really do an excellent job on him coming out of the backfield because he's a major cog. Their wide receiver,
Lawrence Cager.
I mean, Lord, he has come on. He's big time. Pickens, we all know what he can do. He was an Auburn commit that swapped and flipped. I hope Auburn
Gives him a warm welcome.
very warm welcome and gets him really frustrated. But the Cager he's the key to them. And then you can't even forget about their tight end. Georgia always has a knack to get the tight end involved in the passing game. And when you're so worried about Pickens and Cager outside, you're going to have that tight end or that back. It's going to be in the middle. You're going to have to really take that away. So it's going to be a challenge for our defense, but one I think that they're excited about doing.
Yeah, and Cager, was injured in the Missouri game. Kirby Smart says he's fine and will play. There's message board fodder that he may be a little more banged up than we think. He'll be out there, but whether he'll be 100% or not, we'll see. Which kind of leads me to the next question. With that question kind of hanging over there, you got to assume he is going to be there. So Auburn defense, obviously, do you stop the run first?
You got to.
Is that your
you got to hope
you go to?
You got to hope we can match up in the secondary with him, and then don't give him time. If they want to throw the short stuff underneath and keep the ball in front, that's fine. We can deal with that. But we got to stop the run up front, and we got to prevent the home run ball. But preventing the home run ball is getting pressure on Jake, like we did 2 years ago, where he can't be in that pocket and be healthy and give him time to pick us apart.
Yeah. All right, so let's flip to the offensive side of the ball. What's your plan? This defense giving up a little over 10 points a game, lead the SEC. Now, I think that number could be a little bit inflated because I don't think really Georgia's played anybody but Florida so far.
Well,
but they're still a good defense.
They're still a good defense, and they're the only team in the nation that has not given up a rushing touchdown. So I mean, their front seven is going to be very comparable to ours, and they run so many defensive linemen in and out, sort of like we do. But we got the big name like Derek Brown and Marlon Davison and Big Cat. So we got some. Theirs are not as well known, but they probably got 8 that's just really, really good, and they good job rotating them out. Especially if we substitute, you're going to see mass sales substitution with Kirby because he's.
So you say they're deeper?
I think they're. I don't know if they're deeper because we're pretty deep too, but they might be a little bit deeper. Their twos might be a little bit better than our twos. I don't think their ones will be better than our ones. So, but it's going to be a situation that we got to come out and we're going to have to throw the football. We can't try to run into something that's just an iron wall. We got to get some perimeter runs, get a lot of formations to get them frustrated. Knowing Kirby, he's going to have a good game plan, and he will. But if you can make him uncomfortable, especially when he can't substitute, and you can make him uncomfortable, you can find some cracks. And we're going to have to throw. And if Bo continues to throw, I know you can't compare Ole Miss to Georgia's defense by no means, but if we can get some people open, I think offense is going to have a chance. I don't see this being a high-scoring game. I really, really don't. It wouldn't shock me if it's a 27-24 type ball game. And then you say, wow, that's low scoring. Well, 10 years ago that wasn't low scoring, but nowadays it is a low scoring game. And it could possibly. So, it's just going to be one of them things. I want the Auburn crowd to be electric. I'm looking forward to myself to be there and to watch this game and come out and let's have that type of Gainesville crowd that Florida had. Let's have this Baton Rouge crowd. Let's have that type of crowd because it can be a home field advantage if we do.
Yeah. And Bo Nix is a better quarterback at home. I don't think there's any question. I know he's gone on the road to play Florida and LSU, and I know that is what it is. But I do think he's a better quarterback at home. Seems more comfortable at home.
I do. I mean, I think you see Bo taking some chances. We got to keep the pressure off him, and by doing that, it might be the short passing game. It might be the perimeter runs, and in the fact that and you're going to see him to a situation where he's going to run football. Everybody said when Gatewood transferred, you got to be careful because he gets hurt. Yeah, you got to be careful, but you're at the end of the season now. You got to let everything
Yeah,
go.
can't
Now,
scrap your offense
can't,
over it.
You
Yeah.
keep running 10, 15, 20 times, but pick the times when you got to use his legs, because I'm promise you, he's an asset with his legs. And about like Joe Burrow, I mean, I think that people are going to start laughing at me, but I really think 2 years from now, you might see Bo comparable to Joe Burrow.
Really?
And because of the size and because of the speed, and I think he's got the arm talent. He's just got to get accustomed to everything. And you know, Burrow's a 5-year. Well, he's a 5-year senior, so
Yep.
you know, get him time. And there again, you know, I could be wrong. I have been a lot, but I really think I see that potential in Bo.
Yeah. Talk about the emerging combo of DJ Williams and Boobie Whitlow, assuming that Boobie Whitlow didn't play against Ole Miss, assuming he's back close to 100%. That's an added weapon that we haven't seen all year, not in tandem.
I'm anxious to see that as a tandem. DJ has really came on lately. I like the way he's doing. We all know what Boobie can do. I think they can complement each other so much to where in the fourth quarter they both can be fresh, and I think that'll be the key.
Be the key. All right, you said at the start you thought special teams was going to play a big role. Talk about that.
We've got to win the special teams. You know, the old adage, if you're a football coach, there's 3 aspects. You got offense, defense, special teams. We have got to win the special teams game just because of the fact they're so good on offense and defense. If we win the special team game and then and play over our heads in one of those other 2 areas, then we got a chance to win the football game. But if they win the special teams games, I think we're going to be in trouble. But you know, it goes back to, you know, kickoffs. We got to kick them in the end zone. Punt return. A punter's got to do a good job of getting hang time. I like hang time more than I like distance, just because of the fact you might kick it 40 yards for 44 yards, but if it's a low liner, they're going to return it back 15 or 20. So when they get that high punt, kind of make our field goals.
Yeah.
You got to make that count. So, like I said, Georgia's got a pretty good special team unit. So I think that's one matchup that if we got a chance or we want to hope to win this game, we're going to win that.
What are your thoughts?
You know, really personally, you know, Georgia, you know, they're ranked. They've only lost 1 ball game.
Playing for everything.
They got a chance to play for everything. But I just got a feeling about this football team is that we really played probably LSU better than anybody has all year long. We didn't really look really good against Florida, I'll be honest with you. Defensively we did, but offensively we didn't. But we had a chance in both games to win. Now, we're at home. We got to show America that, hey, we're not a bad football team.
Yeah.
So let's let the chips fall where they may. I'm anxious to see what happens.
And maybe I'm looking through the orange and blue glasses, but this feels like a Gus Malzahn game.
I hope so. And, you know, it's football. It's all about, you know, staying in front of the chains.
Yeah.
If we make Bo be 2nd and 9, 3rd and 12, it's going to be a long day.
Yep.
But if we can make Jake Fromm be 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 12, it's going to be a long game for him.
Absolutely.
So it's like a little chess match, and you just make sure you got the best pawn.
I can't wait. Deep South's oldest rivalry this Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Jordan-Hare Stadium, televised right here on CBS. Everybody have a good weekend. War Eagle.
War Eagle.